Hello students, welcome to NCRT class 8 Geography Chapter 2 Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. In this session, we are going to discuss about theory as well as questions and answers. Introduction, it starts with two examples. First one, Mamba's life in Tanzania, Africa. So, he lives in a small village in Tanzania, fetches water early morning, walking a long distance. Helps mother at home, takes care of goats with brothers. Family owns rocky land. Father struggles to grow enough maize and beans, insufficient harvest to feed the family for the entire year. Now, this is the second example. Peter's life in New Zealand. Resides in the sheep-rearing region of New Zealand. Family operates a wool processing factory. Peter observes his uncle managing sheep on a grassy plain with distant hills. Sheep rearing employs advanced technology and scientific methods. Family practices organic farming, growing vegetables. Now, what are the differences in their lives? So, Mamba and Peter live in different parts of the world. Disparities arise from variations in land, soil, water, natural vegetation, animals, and technology. Resources availability is the primary factor contributing to regional differences. Land. Land is crucial natural resource. Land is a vital natural resource. Covers only 30% of Earth's surface. Not all parts are habitable. Uneven distribution of population. Population distribution linked to land and climate. Rock topography, mountain slopes, low-lying areas, deserts, and dense forests tend to be sparsely populated. Plains and river valleys suitable for agriculture and are densely populated regions globally. Land use. Land used for various purposes. First one, utilized for agriculture, forestry, mining, housing, roads, and industries. Collective term for these applications is land use. Now, what are the factors influencing land use? Determined by physical factors such as topography, soil, climate, minerals, and water availability. The next one is human factors like population and technology also play a crucial role. Land ownership classification. Private land owned by individuals, community land owned collectively for common purposes like collecting fodder, fruits, nuts, and medicinal herbs. Challenges in land use. Increasing population and demands. Second one, limited availability and varying quality of land. Encroachment on common lands for commercial and residential development and agricultural expansion. Impact on environment. Changes in the land use patterns reflect cultural shifts. Land degradation, landslides, soil erosion, and desertification pose significant environmental threats due to agricultural and construction expansion. Conservation of land resources. Impact of growing population. So, rising demand results in extensive destruction of forest and arable land. Fear of losing these vital natural resources emerges. Now, what is the need for land conservation? So, urgent requirement to curb the current rate of land degradation. Now, next one, conservation methods. So, first one is afforestation, planting trees to replenish lost forest cover. Then the next one is land reclamation, recovering and restoring degraded land. Third one, regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, balancing for agricultural practices. Now, last one is checks on overgrazing. So, this is the preventing of excessive grazing to preserve land resources. Soil. Definition of soil. Thin layer covering the earth's surface, tightly connected to land. Soil composition. Comprised of organic matter, minerals, and weathered rocks. Formation through the weathering process. Landforms influence soil. Type of soils determined by the landforms. Now, fertility factors. Fertility depends on the proper mix of minerals and organic matter in the soil. Landslide and mitigation. Definition of landslides: mass movement of rock, debris, or earth down a slope. Association with natural events, often linked with earthquakes, floods, and volcanoes. Now, rainfall impact: prolonged heavy rainfall can trigger significant landslides. Resulting landslides may block river flow, causing downstream havoc upon bursting. Concern in hilly terrain. Hilly areas experience widespread landslides, a major natural disaster. Significant threat to life and property, prompting major concern. Scientific advances and mitigation techniques. Scientific advancements help understand landslide cause and management. Mitigation techniques include hazard mapping to identify landslide prone areas, avoiding settlements there. Construction of retention walls to prevent landslipping. Increasing vegetation cover a mitigate landslides. Implementing surface drainage control to manage landslide movement with rainwater and spring flows. Factors of soil formation. So the primary factors include the nature of parent rock and climatic conditions. Additional factors involve topography, the influence of organic material, and the time required for soil composition. So this is something which is shown in the picture. Parent rock, relief, flora, fauna and microorganisms, climate and time. Parent rock. It determines colors, texture, chemical properties, mineral content and permeability. Relief. This is the altitude and slope determine accumulation of soil. Now flora, fauna and microorganisms. They affect the rate of humus formation. Then climate. This maintains temperature, rainfall influence, rate of weathering and humus formation. Now next one is time. Time determines thickness of the soil profile. Degradation of soil and conservation measures. The first one is threats to soil. Soil erosion and depletion pose major threats. Human and the natural factors contribute to soil degradation. Degradation factors include deforestation, overgrazing, chemical fertilizer and pesticide overuse, rain, wash, landslides and floods. Soil conservation methods. First one is mulching. Covering bare ground between plants with organic matter like straw to retain soil moisture. Contour barriers. Building barriers along contours using stones, grass and soil with trenches to collect water. Then rock dam. Piling rocks to slow water flow, preventing gullies and soil loss. Next one is terrace farming. Creating broad flat steps on the steep slopes to reduce surface runoff and soil erosion. Intercropping, growing different crops in alternate rows and at different times to protect soil from rainwash. Contour plowing, plowing parallel to hill contours to create a natural barrier for water flow. Then shelter belts, planting rows of trees in coastal and dry regions to control wind movement and protect soil cover. The next one is water. First, water as a vital resource. 3/4 of our surface covered with water, earning it the name water planet. Oceans, where life began 3.5 billion years ago, still cover 2/3 of Earth and support diverse plants and animal life. Freshwater availability. Freshwater is only about 2.7%, with 70% locked in ice sheets and glaciers in inaccessible regions. Only 1% of freshwater is available for human use, found in groundwater, surface water, and atmospheric water vapor. Water's precarious nature. Freshwater is the most precious substance on earth, with a constant volume. Abundance seems to vary due to the continuous water cycle evaporation, precipitation, and runoff. Human water usage. Humans use significant amount of water for drinking, washing, and production processes. Water is essential for agriculture, industries, and electricity generation through dam reservoirs. Now, challenges and factors affecting water supply. First one, increasing population demands for food and Cash crops, urbanization, and rising standards of living contribute to freshwater shortages. Shortages arise from water sources drying up or pollution. Problems of water availability. First one, global water scarcity. Many regions worldwide, including Africa, West Asia, South Asia, parts of Western USA, Northwest Mexico, South America, and Australia, face water scarcity. Countries in drought prone climatic zones encounter significant water shortage issues. Now, causes of water scarcity. Scarcity results from variations in seasonal and annual precipitation. Overexploitation and contamination of water sources contribute to shortages. Conservation of water resources. So, first one is global water challenges. Access to clean and sufficient water is a significant global issue. Conservation measures. Overuse and pollution, mainly from untreated sewage, agricultural chemicals, and industrial effluents, render water unfit for use. Contaminants like nitrates, metals, and pesticides, often non biodegradable, reach humans through water. Pollution control. Treating effluents before releasing them into water bodies can help control water pollution. Now, natural conservation methods. Forests and vegetation slow surface runoff and replenish underground water. Water harvesting and lined canals reduce losses by seepage. Sprinklers and deep irrigation methods minimize water losses through seepage and evaporation. Overall water conservation. Adoption of these measures in irrigation helps conserve the valuable water resource. Natural vegetation and wildlife. So, first one, biosphere and ecosystem. Natural vegetation and wildlife thrive in the biosphere, the interface of lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. Interconnected living beings from an ecosystem, supporting life and relying on each other for survival. Now, value of vegetation. Plants offer resources like timber, shelter, oxygen, soil protection, and various products. Essential roles include acting as shelter belts, aiding water storage, and providing fruits, nuts, latex, medicinal plants, and paper. Importance of wildlife. Wildlife encompasses animals, birds, insects, and aquatic life. Vital for human needs such as milk, meat, hides, wool, and honey. Insects like bees contribute to pollination and act as decomposers. Birds play a role in insect control and decomposition. Scavengers like vultures contribute to environmental cleansing. Now, integral role in ecosystem. Animals regarding of size are crucial for maintaining ecosystem balance. Distribution of natural vegetation. Factors affecting vegetation. Growth depends on temperature and moisture. Now, major vegetation types. So, major vegetation types are forests, grasslands, scrubs, and tundra. Now, association with water supply. Abundant water supports forests with huge trees. Decreased moisture results in smaller, less dense trees and forms grasslands. Dry areas with low rainfall host thorny shrubs and scrubs. Adaptations to dry areas. Plants in arid regions have deep roots and thorny, waxy leaves to minimize moisture loss. Tundra vegetation in cold regions. Polar tundra features mosses and lichens. Human impact on forests. Increasing global population has led to deforestation for agriculture. Urgent need to conserve dwindling forest cover. Conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. Forests as essential wealth. Forests provide shelter, maintaining ecosystem with plants and animals. Climate changes and human interference can disrupt natural habitats, leading to species vulnerability and extinction. Threats to wildlife. Deforestation, soil erosion, construction, forest fires, tsunamis, and landslide accelerate extinction processes. poaching, illegal trade of animal parts like skins, nails, teeth, horns, feathers, endangered species like tiger, lion, elephant, deer, and rhinoceros. Conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. First one, conservation measures. National parks, wild sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves established to protect natural resources. Conservation of creeks, lakes, and wetlands is vital. Environmental balance disrupted by human activities affecting natural habitats. Awareness programs. Social forestry and community level initiatives like Bonomotsav encouraged. School programs promote bird watching and nature camps for habitat appreciation. Legal measures. Laws in many countries, including India, prohibit killing and trade of endangered species like lions, tigers, deers, bustards, and peacocks. International conventions cites bans trade in certain animal and bird species. Now the last one is ethical duty of citizens. Conservation of plants and animals is seen as an ethical duty for every citizen. Let's go through NCRT Class 8 Geography Chapter 2 questions and answers. Answer the following questions. Which are the two main climatic factors responsible for soil formation? So, climate and soil formation. So, the primary factors are temperature and rainfall. Rainfall impacts weathering rate and humus development. Write any two reasons for land degradation today. So, causes of land degradation. First one, overuse of chemical fertilizer, then deforestation. Population growth impact. Rising population and demands lead to extensive destruction of forest and arable land. Fear of losing this crucial natural resource. Why is land considered an important resource? So, significance of land. Valuable resource for diverse purposes includes agriculture, forestry, mining, construction, and industrial development. Name any two steps that government has taken to conserve plants and animals. So, government initiatives for conservation. Establishment of natural parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves. Promotion of awareness programs like social forestry and Vanomotsav for forest conservation. Suggest three ways to conserve water. So, water conservation methods. First one is increasing vegetation. Purpose slow surface runoff strategy, boost forest cover and vegetation. Then second one, replenishing underground water. Purpose utilize rainwater harvesting strategy, collect and store rainwater. Third one, reducing water loss in agriculture. Purpose minimize irrigation water loss. Second one, strategy shift to less water intensive agricultural methods. Take the correct answer. Which one of the following is not a factor of soil formation? So the answer is soil texture. Which one of the following methods most appropriate to check soil erosion on steep slopes? The answer is terrace cultivation. Which one of the following is not in favor of the conservation of nature? The answer is dispose playbacks after sopping. Match the following. Match column A to column B. So I'll be directly going to the answers. Land use, productive use of land. Humus, organic matter deposited on top of soil. Rock dams prevent soil erosion. Biosphere, narrow zone of contact between lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. State whether the given statement is true or false. If true, give reasons. First one, Ganga Brahmaputra plain of India is an overpopulated region. This is true. The Ganga Brahmaputra plain in India is overpopulated due to below reasons. First one, fertile soil. The region has some of the most fertile alluvial soil, making it highly suitable for agriculture. The fertility of the soil attracts a dense population engaged in farming. The next one is abundant water resources. The presence of major rivers like Ganges and Brahmaputra provides a consistent water supply for irrigation, supporting agricultural activities throughout a year. This availability of water contributes to increased agricultural productivity. Question number 2. Water availability per person in India is declining. This is true. Factors contributing to declining water availability in India are population growth and urbanization, industrial explosion and economic development, water intensive agriculture, insufficient water management, climate change impacts, then groundwater depletion, water pollution and inequitable distribution. Rows of trees planted in the coastal areas to check the wind movement is called intercropping. The answer is false. Trees are strategically planted in rows to control wind movement and safeguard the soil. Such planted rows are known as shelter beds. Human interference and changes of climate can maintain the ecosystem. The answer is false. Human activities and climate change can lead to the destruction of natural habitats, resulting in the loss of ecosystems. Climate change and human interventions such as deforestation or urbanization disrupt the balance of natural habitats, leading to adverse impact on the interconnected web of living organisms and their environment known as the ecosystem. So this completes NCRT class at Geography chapter 2. We can continue in the next class.